My Bible reading schedule takes me today to 2 Samuel chapter 2, 1 Chronicles chapter 11, Psalm 142, and Matthew chapter 14. The passage that really stood out to me was the first couple of verses of Psalm 142, but then I reread the whole psalm, and I just want to share that with you because it's just such a good psalm and some important stuff there for us. I cry out to the Lord with my voice to the Lord I make my supplication. I pour out my complaint before him, I declare before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then you knew my path in the way in which I walk. They have secretly set a snare for me. Look on my right hand and see, for there is no one who acknowledged me. Refuge has failed me. No one cares for my soul. I cried out to you, O Lord. I said, you are my strength, my portion in the land of the living. Attend to my cry, for I am brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of the prison, that I may praise your name. The righteous shall surround me, for you shall deal bountifully with me. Those are some great words for us to consider this morning, because too many times when I am in difficulty or in trouble, I take my complaint to someone else, to a friend, my wife, or some other person rather than the Lord. It's kind of like, remember the old game show, The Millionaire? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You had those three options, and one of them was to phone a friend. And sometimes our lives are like that. We are playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and our go-to option is to phone a friend. When we're in trouble, when we're in difficulty, we phone a friend and talk to our friend and pour out our complaint to them. But what does the psalmist say? You see that all the way through the psalm. Who did he cry out to? He cried out to the Lord, and the Lord heard him. And so the purpose behind all of that was so that I may praise your name and give you glory. So an important lesson for us. I think about Peter. When in Matthew chapter 14, he was sinking. He cried out to the Lord with his voice, and I rather imagine it wasn't a whisper like, "Oh Jesus, help me." No, he cried out to the Lord, and that's the same idea here. When the psalmist cried out, it wasn't a weak, whimpering cry. It was a strong, loud cry. Not that the Lord is deaf, certainly not. He can hear. But it was indicative of the despair that the person was in, that the psalmist was in. And I'm sure when Peter was in that situation, he cried out to the Lord. I remember one time on a youth outing, I had fallen down the mountain, and as I was falling, I was saying, oh, in my mind, Jesus, help me. As I was falling, some of the kids that were around said they heard me. And it wasn't a whisper, it was a desperation cry. I yelled at the top of my lungs, Jesus, help me. So that's the kind of thing that, because despair can be so overwhelming. Like the waves, the boisterous waves that were surrounding Peter, then it's right to cry out to the Lord. That's what we do. That's the right thing to do. And just as the Lord was there to grab Peter by the hand and lift him out of the water, so he will be there for you and me when it feels like we are going under for the last time. We've been in all of us, every one of us, in those kinds of situations, feeling the desperation of the moment. What do we do in those times? Cry out to the Lord and let him deliver us from that. So if you're in that situation this morning, you are in a desperate situation and don't know what to do, I want to encourage you. Take a read of Psalm 142 and take the advice of the psalmist and cry out to the Lord with your voice. Amen. May the Lord richly bless you today.